No, unless you don't want to talk about it. You tell me.
Okay. No,
Okay.
I don't care.
All right, no, we'll talk about it. No humming. Sorry, Franco and I were in the middle of a conversation.
He pressed go live in the middle of what we were talking about.
Yeah, these are things I don't have problems with on regular radio. All right, listen. Last episode of the year, Frankie C.
This is it?
This is it. And there's a couple of things here. Obviously, Matt Gaetz.
What a giant piece of shit. Right.
I
Yep.
don't know how to make a P.
I don't know what the sign. Well, I don't know what the official sign. I don't think that's official sign language.
I don't think so either. Luigi Mangioni, all smiles in court today as he pled not guilty, which is amazing. Bill Clinton has been hospitalized. We'll give you the latest update. What's the worst Christmas song that we have?
Oh, I've got one.
Drop your comments below, please. Let us know. And this is a very important, obviously, okay, we're going to have a game. It's going to be game time on this episode. We'll have some other sort of topics and such. We'll touch on the holidays, of course. But this topic right here, quantum physics, Ant was right, might be the end of the podcast. This could end the podcast.
When you say end of the podcast, do you mean like end of just the podcast or end of like the world?
Is there a
Because
difference?
quantum physics freaks me out, man.
Let me ask you a question. Without this podcast, do you think the world can continue? Because I don't think so.
That's a fair question.
Happy holidays. Let's go. Wait until you see how I weave all this in.
Master Sigourney Weaver up here.
That was good. I like that. Did you work on that? You couldn't have. You didn't know.
How would I have done that? I don't know. You're
No.
going to weave anything?
Sometimes I think you put stuff in the drawer. Just hold it.
Yeah.
Hold on to it.
I have a chalkboard in front of me with just lists, like a Matt Damon stupid ass movie board in front of me.
You want to laugh? There's a radio DJ called
It's a terrible name.
His name. Who's the guy? He's on CBS FM. I used to work with him. Bill. Oh God. Anyway, this guy rhymes. He rhymes all his breaks.
Oh, Broadway Bill Lee.
Broadway Bill Lee. Thank you. Oh my God. So I worked with Broadway Bill Lee, and we hired him while I was at the station for a while. So he comes in, he's doing his stuff, and he's like rhyming everything, and I'm like, how is this guy doing this? So we go into the studio, and I go, Bill, how are you doing this? And he breaks out this binder, and in the binder is just every page had 4 to 6 lines on it of stuff, and he would just be like, oh, this will he just had this like encyclopedic memory to go, oh, the one on page 320 I could use for this upcoming,
Oh boy. And I'd never hear him repeat.
He really rotates. Again, he's got an endless amount of them.
Good for him. Hey, you got you stick with it. It works.
That's what you got to do.
Yeah.
Matt Gaetz, Frankie C. Boy, is this guy a pervert, right?
Was this close to being your next attorney general? This is who Trump wanted. Knowing all the shit that was released.
Do you think he knew, though? Do you think anybody outside? Well, we all kind of knew. We all
kind of knew, but I got to imagine the incoming president is briefed on everything, number one.
Yeah.
Number two, when you appoint someone or nominate someone for a position, they're vetted fully, I'm sure. And I'm sure this came up. Am I wrong?
Yes.
I mean, I can't imagine this was left out. Like, yeah, you don't need to see that.
Yeah, I don't. It's very suspect.
Yeah.
It's very suspect because I know you don't like Trump, but even I'm surprised that he did this with everything swirling around. I don't know if he felt like he owed him a favor or.
I think it doesn't matter who you are. You kiss Trump's ass, he's gonna like you. That's it.
Yeah, I wonder. Would I upset you if I told you that I am now a fan of Donald Trump? Would that be upsetting to you?
That would upset me a little bit, but I'd want to know exactly why.
Okay. Well, can I tell you why? Can I lay out the reasons why? I don't think you're going to be able to argue with this.
I bet you I can.
Okay. For 4 years under Joe Biden, we had a big fat zero. I'll tell you where. Now, all of a sudden, Trump is president-elect, right? Now, all of a sudden, not only are we getting a trailer for a new Superman movie, but we got a trailer for a trailer. And then when President Trump takes the office, we're going to get a new Superman movie.
Well, I think we got a new Superman movie when Biden took office.
No,
I think.
big fat zero.
No, did we not?
Goose egg.
Or Batman? Did we get a new Batman? We got the new something.
I don't care.
Spider-Man?
Don't care. 4
Never.
years I went without one goddamn Superman movie. All of a sudden, President Trump gets elected. I got a movie, a trailer, and a trailer for the trailer. So I'm in.
Yeah, but you know what? How many more we'll go 4 more years and we'll get another new Superman?
You don't know that. I think we're going to get 2 Supermans under Trump's watch. That's how good he is.
Well, we don't need. It's enough with the super. Is it Supermans or Supermen?
Supermen. Yeah, Superman.
Super people.
By the way, not only did we get a Superman, we got a Superman with a fucking dog. Okay, we got Crypto.
We got Crypto. But I have a problem with. Did you watch the trailer?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, I don't have a problem with the trailer. I have a problem with some of the other super people in the movie. There's a guy that I don't know which came first, but there's a guy that's either an obvious ripoff of Mr. Fantastic, or Mr. Fantastic is a ripoff of him. His name is like Mr. Terrific or something like that.
Yes, I know who you're talking about.
Right? Is that the name?
Yeah, it's kind of tough because a lot of the Superman people were developed in like the 40s and the 50s. So I feel like they came first before
Fantastic Four, maybe. I don't know.
I don't know because Fantastic Four does go way, way back. So I'm not.
And Superman, Superman goes way, way back. It's probably one of the first, if not the first.
To the 30s, yes.
But does this Mr. Terrific guy predate Mr. Fantastic?
I don't know, but you know who's Mr. Terrific to me nowadays? President Trump. I mean, I don't even know. We might get a Supergirl at this point. We might get Supergirl.
That would be great. And you're crediting Trump. I got to tell you, though, Biden's still president.
True. I guess he can take some credit for the trailer, but we can't give him credit for the movie. That just happened overnight.
Right now, Trump is still citizen Trump.
That's true. I'm just saying, Trump's coming in and everything is coming up roses right now.
Yeah.
We're getting it. I was very excited for the Superman trailer. I will admit, I said this on the last episode. I will admit, when he started whistling for the dog, I go, "Oh my God, he's not whistling for the dog, is he?" And then when the dog came out, I was like, "Not my favorite." But people seem to love the fucking dog. He's okay. It's like a little, I don't know. I'm not a
cartoony.
It's a little much. Yeah, it's a little much. He's got a lot of stuff. That James Gunn's got a lot of stuff going on in this movie. I don't know how he's tying this all together. I have no idea.
Yeah, what's the plot? The villain? There was a couple of potential villains in the trailer. There was some weird, gigantic lizard thing that I don't know.
Right.
Who that is.
Right.
But it looks like a decent movie, just based on the trailer. What do you think about? I forget his name as Lex Luthor.
A little too thin for me. A little too thin in there. Again, what's our frame of reference? It's
Gene Hackman.
Yeah, so I like a bigger, more crazy. I thought the other
guy looked.
Right. I thought the guy who started Facebook, he did okay too.
He was terrible. You
didn't like him? I thought he was all right.
Jesse Eisenberg.
Yeah. It wasn't great. It was okay.
That's not like that smug. Oh, I'm Jesse Eisenberg, and I talk fast, and that's why I'm smart. I'm smart. Yeah. I talk fast, and it's like, oh, shut up.
Yeah.
That thought looks. He was just very Jesse Eisenberg in that role. He wasn't Lex Luthor for me, anyway.
It's true. What did you think of the guy who Kevin? I can't remember anything anymore. Frank, the guy who was Frank Underwood in. Yeah.
Oh, as Lex Luthor, Kevin Spacey.
Kevin Spacey, thank you.
Not very memorable in that role. I can't remember a thing he did really.
Yeah.
In that movie, like what's his name? I gotta say, Gene Hackman. He wasn't strong, tough guy, but he was like smart. and he also was kind of goofy.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he had that like a touch of Joker to him. You know, like a little maniacal
Yes.
to him, but he was also smart, and he commanded loyalty, and you know, he was like a tough guy in that sense.
Yes.
But that's what you don't get from Eisenberg, and maybe this guy will bring it. I don't remember his name.
But actually, you and I went to dinner.
Oh, sorry. Yes. No, I agree.
Yeah. So maybe, I mean, the movie itself looks really good.
It does. I'll tell you what he really nailed. That good-natured look of the suit and the character from Christopher Reeve. None of these guys have really nailed that Christopher Reeve. And when I say that, I mean like the saturation and the look of it all. Like the way the film looks, it looks like that 80s style, like classic Superman, like he's here for good, and you know, that kind of feel to it. They put the red underwear back on him.
See, you didn't like the look of the suit when we last talked about this movie. When they only showed that picture of him sitting in the cuck chair, you were like, this suit doesn't look right.
Yes, because it has like lines on it. It's a little strange, but the final product suit looks very good. I still don't love the liney part of it all, but looks okay. He looks most like you know, the Christopher Reeve one, which that's the feel you want to go for. The Brandon Routh Superman kind of was close to that too, but the story just sucked.
There's a difference there between Batman and Superman. With Superman, every Superman we're comparing to Christopher Reeve. With Batman, it's its own thing. It's like we're not comparing it really, because you had Jack Nicholson as Joker was great.
Yes.
But Heath Ledger was great.
And
we don't compare the two. They're two different. They're both the Joker.
Yes.
But they're in their own thing. With Superman, and even if you're talking about Batman, Michael Keaton, great. What's his name? Before Ben Affleck.
Before Ben Affleck?
With Heath Ledger, who's the
fuck.
Christian Bale. Both great Batman. Both did a great Batman.
Yes. But you know who's not in that conversation? Robert Pattinson. He sucks.
Yeah.
This is my impression of Robert Pattinson and Batman.
The Joker's at it again. It's like you put Eeyore in a Batman suit, you got Robert Pattinson.
It's fucking Ozempic Eeyore. Just
I guess I'll fight the Penguin. Where's Robin?
I'm angry. I'm gonna just beat people up more than I usually do.
I know.
Fucking brooding. And I saw some interview with the director, and he's like, "Oh, it was Robert Pattinson all along. I couldn't think of anybody else." I'm like, I can think of 17 other people I'd rather see in that. I'd rather see Matt Gaetz in that role than fucking Robert Pattinson. For Christ's sake.
That's not.
Can't have any young interns on the film. That's the only problem, you know. If you have Gaetz in there. Anyway, Frankie, see, Matt Gaetz knowingly and willfully attempted to obstruct the investigation, including failing to comply with subpoenas, withholding evidence, providing misleading responses, and making false public statements about voluminous documentary evidence that he never actually produced. This is all part of the whole thing, going back to his ethics complaint. On top of the fact that they're fairly certain that he had sex with a 17-year-old girl and that he paid her for that activity when he was 35 years old.
What a piece of crap.
He also made payments totaling tens of thousands of dollars to women for sex and drugs, of course, across at least 20 separate occasions.
And is all this dropped, or is he going to face stuff for this?
It's very interesting because this is not criminal. This is ethics, and this is a congressional.
How is this not criminal?
I don't know. The only thing I could come up with again. Okay, no, I'm sorry. It would be this was under Florida law, 17-year-old would be considered statutory rape. So yes,
sure would.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna say we've got to update some because remember we talked about this last time. We talked about him. Some of these age of consent laws in some of these states are like 16 and shit like that. It gets a little.
I
It
think
gets.
can we make that universal? Could we just up it to the highest one all around, please?
It should be, and there should be a scale. Like when you're like, let's go with the 17-year-old, like 18, 19, 20. Okay, 21, starting to get into. By the time you hit 22, 17-year-old should be off the table. That should be gone. Because I'm thinking about, you grew up together, or maybe it's your friend's, little brother or whatever it is, that kind of thing. Once you hit 22, that 4 years, even 20, I feel like 21 and a half, we should be like, okay,
I think nobody should be sexually active till they're 35.
Well, that's what I'm saying. By the time you hit 35, you should be far away from 17-year-old. I mean, that's not even close.
Not even in the same planet.
Yeah, I mean, it is horrible. And I would be remiss, Frankie C, if I didn't share one of my favorite moments ever of all time. This is on the Tucker Carlson scale of 1,000. When fucking, do you remember this? When he brought up, you met the girl, remember? Let's all enjoy this one more time.
Again, I only know what I've read in the New York Times. I can say that actually you and I went to dinner about 2 years ago. Your wife was there, and I brought a friend of mine. You'll remember her. And she was actually threatened by the FBI, told that if she wouldn't cop to the fact that somehow I was involved in some pay-for-play scheme, that she could face trouble. And so I do believe that there are people at the Department of Justice who are trying to smear me, providing for flights and hotel rooms for people that you're dating who are of legal age is not a crime. And I'm just troubled that the lack of any sort of legitimate investigation into me would then convert into this extortion attempt.
I don't remember the woman you're speaking of or the context at all, honestly. But
honestly, but that's my favorite part. Honestly, like, we all know this is a lie, right? I'm lying about this. So I'm going to say honestly, just in case.
No, Tucker Carlson never lies. What are you talking about? He's
my God,
very honest person.
I wish I could hear his inner thoughts when he's like, "Oh my God, did he just fucking drag me into this? He just fucking dragged me into this.
This piece of crap. What the hell?" Yep.
Yeah, but at 35, I mean, and again, his best friend was locked away for this. So to answer your question, I don't know if it's going to lead back to another investigation.
How could this not?
But the DOJ already passed on charging him with a crime. So I'm not sure if they just can't substantiate the evidence or whatever, the case may be. But the fact of the matter is, ethically, this guy is, he shouldn't be near anything. Now, he's on the One America Network, OWN. He got a show there. I haven't heard from them if they're backing off of this or not, but I wonder what that would do to, his little TV show, because it's like, what do you do? Like, this guy is proven to have sex with a 17-year-old, when he was 35. He's obviously done tons of drugs. He admitted as much, by the way, when he said he had he was crazy when he was in his 30s.
There's people, his own party, people in the Republican Party that were saying he's showing us pictures and whatever, people that, women that he's on the House floor showing pictures, like bragging about doing all kinds of drugs and doing all kinds of crazy stuff. It's like, well, if that's the stuff he's bragging about, what the fuck is he hiding?
Right. Which makes me think, and nobody is bringing this up, but I'm sorry, this has got to be Kevin McCarthy. Like, it has got to be Kevin McCarthy. Kevin McCarthy is all over this. Matt Gaetz single-handedly fucked Kevin McCarthy out of the speakership. Yeah. And McCarthy said him and Gaetz got booted because Gaetz asked him to kill this exact investigation and he refused to. And so Gaetz exacted revenge by having McCarthy booted. And now fucking McCarthy must be rolling on the floor laughing his ass off because he got the final say. He got the ultimate revenge.
Yeah, you're no matter, like, if there's no charges or something, this guy is ruined for the rest of his career, the rest of his life. He is now branded with this. I mean, there should be charges. There should be some kind of, some kind of legal something coming of this, but I don't know how there isn't.
I don't know how there isn't either. And again, I'm more just kind of looking at what's going to become of this Matt Gaetz show, which was announced only 14 days ago or something, 13 days ago.
How did Matt Gaetz walk into? I mean, 14 days, whatever it was. Let's say a month ago, Matt Gaetz walks into your office, and you don't go, and he's like, I want a job, and you go, maybe not. I mean, how do you go? Yeah, I look, this guy's got great potential. What?
Well, again, it's the One American News Network. I mean,
not really.
This podcast speaks to more people, and I can back that up in court. I can back that up in court.
They're not setting the bar real high.
Yeah, not setting the bar real high. I mean, that will take anybody. I mean, we could have our own show on that network tomorrow if we so chose. I didn't think you'd want to. I would just do the Superman Trump hour every day for as long as I could until they were like, all he does is do Superman. I don't think this is going to work.
Yeah, hold the Trump. I'll talk Superman all day. I'll talk Superman. I'll talk superheroes all day if you want. Movies, let's talk movies.
We wouldn't have Superman with that. Here's the thing. During Biden's era, we got broody Batman. Now, all of a sudden, look at how great things are. America is really great again.
We also got Penguin. Did you watch the Penguin?
Haven't watched Penguin yet.
Oh,
it's good.
Probably, and I say this, you know me, I don't say it lightly. Probably the best thing on television within the last, I don't know how many, 5-6 years. I can't think of anything.
Okay, I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Because the last thing you suggested to me, and I think I don't know if Janine suggested at the same time. I could be wrong. I feel like Janine was involved in this, but you were the one who hammered it home. The Last of Us, the episode 3 or 4, whatever it was. That was your last, like, die on a cross. Like, you got to watch this. I forgot about
that. Yeah. That was great. That was amazing.
So that relates to my follow-up question is what's better, Penguin or The Last of Us?
Two different things. Well, Penguin, all right, The Last of Us, that was one powerful episode surrounded by really good episodes.
Yep.
And I forget how many there were. And was this season, there was just one season? I can't even remember what season we're up to with Last of Us.
There 2 we have. I think they're getting a third.
We're going to the third. Okay.
Yeah.
So that was one amazing, award-winning, great episode surrounded by other really, really good episodes. The Penguin, every episode is, Colin Farrell is awesome as the Penguin. I mean, he is really, really good. And I think you'd like it too. It's a very mafia heavy kind of.
Everybody says it's The Sopranos. They're like it's just a rehash of The Sopranos.
Yeah, but it's not a rehash of The Sopranos. It's nothing like The Sopranos. It's him trying to build himself up. It starts off at the. You saw the Batman, right? With broody Batman. It starts off at the end of that movie.
Okay.
And you don't really need to remember much about the Penguin in that movie. They kind of recap you a little bit. And but it's him and I forget the woman's name in it, the actress. She is unbelievable. The two of them in this movie, I think they were in this show. I think they were nominated for like whatever awards. They were like best actor and best actress. They should win everything. They were amazing, the two of them.
Okay.
So I highly recommend this show. You've got to sit down and watch The Penguin.
DJ Shenanigans says we're waiting on season 2 of The Last of Us. I think this is the second time I made that mistake where I thought we had 2 seasons and we were going into a third. I don't know why I feel that way.
It's because it's been forever since it ended. I feel like the last time we watched it was years ago, and I feel like they should have. I don't know why it takes so long to remember. It used to be when they made shows, you'd have, you'd have 20 of them in a season, and then they come up with the next season right away in the following year. It's like 4 years between seasons. It's ridiculous.
I know, it's crazy. I wanted to put a poll out to see what show I should watch over Christmas break, but I never got around to it. There's so many. Stranger Things, I promised to watch. The
Stranger Things is good.
Penguin.
Penguin, you gotta watch. I would take everything off the table and just watch the Penguin.
Just go
I
for
think
the Penguin.
there's like eight or 10 episodes. I can't remember exactly, but they're really good. And he is great, and she's awesome, and it's a great balance with the both of them. And they do a great job with the story, the action, really. And it's not like you're not sitting there. It's not like a campy, Batman. It's like if it had nothing to do with Batman, it would still be a great standalone kind of a story.
That's how they got to write stuff now. That's what what's his name did with the Joker. He's just like, I wanted to tell a story about a crazy psycho person. I couldn't do it any other way than if it was I had to be a fucking comic book character. When they wrote the Joker, the last one with
Lady Gaga.
Yeah. Well, the first one, yeah, and then the second one was just, I don't know what happened there.
Did you see it?
No, I didn't.
Me neither, but it's available real quick on Max.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. I watched. It's funny. We're bouncing all around. Who gives a shit? I don't care. It's a fucking show. I watched. Speaking of Joaquin Phoenix, I finally watched Napoleon. Did you see that?
I didn't see it. My one complaint, and I didn't see it. I only saw the trailer. My one complaint is he doesn't even attempt a French accent.
No.
Okay, he's just we're gonna. I'm fighting for France. I'm gonna invade. I'm gonna lead the army, June. Is that what he sounds like through the whole thing?
I raised an army, June. Raised the whole.
We made a real army, June.
We're going to Prussia, June. It's gonna be fucking good. Yeah, honestly, he's terrible. I like. You ever watch a movie and you're like, I really enjoyed. I was just so in the mood for like a timepiece, like in that era.
Sure.
So I was happy to be there, but when it was done, I was like, nothing has changed. I've not learned anything. I've not been captivated. It was just like the start to the end. I was like, isn't this fun? And then it was over. And then I'll just never remember another thing ever again from that movie.
At least it wasn't like a quasi history lesson.
It was a little history lesson. Yeah. So if you're a history buff, I think you will enjoy it. But you'll also leave it going. And I can't tell if this means Joaquin did a good job or not. I don't think he did. But I left it going, boy, that Napoleon was a bit of a weirdo. That guy was a little fucking strange. And there's a couple of scenes that are so like, holy shit, I wonder if this really happened. Because there's really no way of knowing. But it was an interesting take. I thought I forget who directed it. He's a big time director.
It wasn't Nolan, right?
What was it?
It wasn't Nolan, right?
No. If it was Nolan, it would have been probably amazing. It was one of the older guys. It'll come to me in a second. Hold on. Let me see here. Fucking shit.
Wasn't Scorsese?
Ridley Scott.
Well,
Ridley Scott.
Hey, he's something.
Yeah, he's been great. Ridley's been great. For people who don't know, he did Alien, he did Blade Runner, Gladiator 1 and 2 were both his. So obviously Ridley's been around the way, very respected. Napoleon is, here's the thing though. I feel like you could have put anybody in that role and they would have done a better job than Joaquin Phoenix.
Okay.
I didn't get it. Like, again, this is an unfair bar to judge it by, but you look at what Daniel Day did as Lincoln, and then you look at anything else and you're like, what the fuck? Yeah,
it's tough. I feel like if he attempted, all he had to do was attempt a French accent, and he probably would have been nominated for everything.
Yeah. It's just very straight. I don't know. I thought he did like a mediocre job. I thought the story was great. I thought Joaquin was just okay.
Being Joaquin.
There was a couple of things that we should talk about it one day. There's a couple of the things that stick with you in that movie are not the things that I don't think they wanted to stick with you.
Okay.
So that's that. The other thing,
the salt burn of biopics.
Yeah. The other thing we have to talk about when it comes to movies, and I promise you we'll get to all the rundown, is
we're not getting to the rundown.
Is Horizon. Did you see Horizon with.
No, what is? I don't even know what that is.
Okay, we talked about this a whole bunch because this again was one of the big stories of 2024, and I'm glad that we are kind of like talking about this now because it kind of leads into it. But it's the Kevin Costner Western. Remember the story? Like he wrote.
Gotta be more specific.
So he wrote and directed Horizon, and he wrote it and he shot the first and second film together, and then they put out the first film and it tanked so bad that they held back the second film from coming out in
Unless
theaters.
it's got water and a world, I don't want to watch it.
Yeah. So I watch it and it's like 3.5 hours. Right.
That's a Kevin Costner movie.
Yeah, it's 3 hours. It's literally 3 hours of pure setup. Not one thing gets resolved.
Oh.
But I gotta tell you, I'm looking at it. I go, I understand why everybody hates this. I'm dying for the second thing because I don't know what it is. Where it's like, okay, so here's what he does. It's interesting for the. It's
Don't
an
spoil
interesting
anything.
choice. Maybe I shouldn't spoil it.
Not that I'm going to see this 3 hour, 3.5 hours.
I don't think we're risking
but
it.
Don't do it.
No, I'm gonna just tell you this part. At the end of the first one, he starts to show scenes from the second one. So it's almost like he builds in a trailer for the second movie in the first movie.
Like at the end of Jackass when they show the bloopers and stuff and during the credits?
Kind of, yeah. But
okay.
It's literally, so you're just left with this, oh, what happens to all these people? It's 3 hours of setting up these characters that you're like, I kind of care about them, but I'm not really sure. And then he does something in the end in the trailer, and you're kind of like, all right, now how does that guy get involved? Now I need to know what's happening here. So I've been dying for fucking Horizon Saga 2, Chapter 2, whatever, and I don't know if we're ever gonna get it because they're like, we're gonna hold back putting this in the movies, put it on Max, and hope that enough people watch it that it causes a thing that we can maybe put the second one out in the movie theaters. And then before
did they make it already?
It's made. It's in the can.
So why wouldn't they put it out? I mean, all the money has been spent.
Yeah, and it's mostly his money that he blew on it. And
so I feel like that's just throwing money away. Let's say he spent $100 million on it. You're not going to see a single dime if you don't put it in the theater.
Right. But I think they're thinking, well, if we hold it back like till summer of 2025, maybe enough people will come but wind up watching it while it's on Max, and then we can release it and maybe have a shot at making some box office money. Here's the other thing. Let me tell you what's bothering me too about the movie people. Francis Ford Coppola made that movie Megalopolis or whatever, which got shit canned. Everybody was talking about how awful it was. Now I'm watching all these reviewers year in review lists, and they're all like, "Oh, it's like the best movie of the year." I'm like, "Where the fuck were you people when everybody was shit panning this movie that it was terrible?" So I don't know what to think anymore about movies.
It's hard. Yeah, it's hard to. You know what was? I don't know if I haven't seen really any press about it or any reviews about it, but we watched it the other day, and I really like it. Right now. It's like it became one of my top 10 Christmas movies.
What's that?
Red One.
Oh, you got to be shitting me. Really?
It was really good. I thought it was with The Rock and Chris Evans and J.K. Simmons. It was really good.
Yeah, J.K. Simmons as Santa. Yeah, it was good.
It was good. It's one of those like because it's a different kind of Santa, you know. It's a different kind of story where he's like he has security guards and he, you know, and they kind of go into they introduce characters that you've heard of, but like you see them in different ways. It's a cool Christmas movie. It's like one of the like I've been waiting for like a new Christmas movie to add to the rundown. I thought this was a really good one.
I know. When was the last time we got a really good film that made it into the lexicon? It would have to be Elf.
Elf was, and that was what, 10, 12, I don't know how many years ago that was.
It's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while.
That's a long time. I really liked this one. I thought this was, I mean, it had, you know, it has a couple of things wrong with it here or there, sure. It's not a perfect movie, but I thought it was entertaining. I thought it was good.
Listen to this. Jenny says, Josephine, that was Napoleon's wife, has diaries, and so did the Habsburg princess. Napoleon married Mary Louise. He was adult, so she left him and went back to the daddy, which is unheard. Yeah, what do you think of Napoleon? Like a conqueror, right? Like a real, like.
Yeah, I really don't know much about him, to be honest. I know I know the he's short and what he looks like, and I don't know really much of what he did. I know he was banished to
Right.
on an island or something. I don't know really much more than that.
Right. And you will have a lot less respect for him when the movie. So, because it was like he had like one really good idea, and then they gave him way too much after. Like he had one great idea in the beginning that worked, and then it was like, I don't know, we'll just. Whenever some shit happened, they were like, I don't know, what do you got, Napoleon? He's like, I'll take care of it. And then everybody just lined up behind him, and he just kept winning. He got lucky once, and then just kept rolling that reputation until he finally rolled the dice literally one too many times. And then people were like, what are we following this asshole for?
What are we following this asshole for?
I just gave you the whole synopsis of Napoleon. I just saved you 2.5 hours.
Oh, God.
But again,
we got a real army. We got a real army.
We're marching. We're all wearing the same thing. You're all wearing blue like you're going to a funeral. Maybe we are.
Maybe we are, June.
Maybe we are. June. It's Josephine. Sorry, Josephine.
Dead.
When Napoleon does Ring of Fire, though, at the end, I mean, he takes the whole house down. It's fucking
See,
great.
that's what I show up for. I need a Ring of Fire.
It's so fucking good.
That's nice.
He did some weird shit though. Like he would go over to other world leaders and be like, "Hey, why don't you let me, marry your sister?" And they were like, "What the fuck? No, you fucking psychopath! Like we're not gonna let you." He's like, "I have a good idea. Let me bang your sister." And people were like,
"Sounds familiar." You got the guy that's gonna be in January saying, "Oh, we'll just take over Greenland. It'll be fine." Oh yeah, we're gonna take back the Panama Canal. It'll be fine. The Panama won't mind. Canada, why don't you become the 51st state? Yeah, he's threatened Panama, saying we're going to take back the Panama Canal. Panama was like, really? I don't think so. And he's like, we'll see. Then he's like, we need to take over Greenland for strategic whatever, something or other. And he's also, he keeps putting out like his tweets or whatever, his truths, that he keeps hinting that Canada is going to be a governor. Who's the prime minister?
Governor Trudeau.
Trudeau. Governor Trudeau and the 51st state of Canada is going to, it's like, stop being a dick to our allies, you asshole. And he's not even in office yet. You already wait. This is what it was fucking 8 years ago when we woke up and we're like, what the fuck is he doing now? This is what it is.
I've been ignoring it. I got to be honest with you. I've just been. I peek. I read. If it's not podcast worthy, I just move on. I don't pay attention to it anymore.
Oh, he's got Musk running the show. Everybody's calling him President Musk and Vice President Trump.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah, and he's like, no, you can't. And he's, it's getting to him, and it's, and that's what it is, because there was a bill to keep the government running. And
I heard about that. Yeah,
you heard about Musk and Trump saying don't sign the bill, and they took out funding for cancer research for children.
I didn't hear that part.
Yeah, so that was in the bill, and they shot the bill down, and then took out $190 million in cancer research. That was what they changed in the bill.
But we're getting a new Superman movie, so how bad could it be? Really,
you kind of weigh that. Yeah, I got you.
Gotta be honest with you, somebody in my family has cancer right now. Not my favorite person.
You got Crypto, the dog.
When I saw that dog, I go, "Oh my god, people are gonna hate this." And I was more wrong about this than the election. I was more wrong because I was
You've been wrong about a lot of stuff.
I know I haven't got. But wait till we get to the quantum physics thing. That was very right.
Let's. Where are we up to? Luigi Mangioni. Okay, go ahead.
All Smiles in court today. Pled not guilty. I don't know where his first lawyer went because he's got a new female lawyer, which smart move. Go for the smarter sex. Get the female in there. Better shot at beating it. Yeah, they know what they're doing. They're on top of it. But he was all smart. He is comfortable as all shit. I don't know if we've had a martyr in this country recently to the scale that we have Luigi Mangioni. Women love him. Even in our own little friend chat, like somebody shared a picture of a T-shirt with him on it, and Janine was going crazy. People love this guy.
The guy shot someone in the back in cold blood, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's the best." It's like,
you can call me stupid. I think he has a genuine chance of beating this case.
I mean, if we're going based on just the case and not public whatever,
Frank, I think if they found him holding the gun, okay, that he would still have a chance at beating this. I don't know what's happening or why. Again,
even if he's an objectively good-looking guy, what if he's a dick and he's just like, you don't know. We don't know this guy. I mean, obviously he's a murderer, but outside of that, we don't know the second thing about him. The guy could be the worst person in the world.
Mm-hmm.
We have no idea anything about him, and
we don't. But people love him. People love him.
I don't. It's a weird world, man.
Again, people are going a little too far. Like one people were like hanging posters of like other CEOs, and I can't get on board with that. But as far as this guy goes, I just feel like I don't really know.
DJ Shenanigans says Ted Bundy was a sex object back in the day. Yeah, but he didn't. They executed him, so he did not get away with all of it. Well, he got away with more than he obviously should have. He murdered a lot of people, but he got the death penalty. So this guy killed someone in cold blood. I don't see him getting away with it. Nobody gets away with stuff based on their looks.
Well, unless you're putting baby in the corner, but outside of that, yeah.
Yes.
Flying Wise on your side says, no chance, Ant. Mercury said, last week, Ant crapped on Jersey and Ohio. Not cool, man. We got to talk. Which one? Because I feel like we could at least agree on one of those.
I don't know, man.
Take your choice. I don't care, but.
Not a fan of Cleveland?
No. Ohio, what has Ohio given us? Name a thing that Ohio has given us besides football. And if they didn't figure it out, somebody else would have.
They gave us that whole high in the middle, round on both ends thing.
What?
That's how you describe Ohio.
High in the middle, round of. Oh, okay, I see it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Aaron says if the jury is 12 J-Sabs, then this guy's got a chance.
No shit.
But they'll weed out all the J-Sabs.
Yeah, and that's the other thing too. Here's the other smart thing about bringing in a woman to defend you, because now everybody's gonna be thinking, well, she feels comfortable. She seems to like him a lot. Like maybe he's not so bad of a guy after all. Whereas that first lawyer was a shystery guy. Like he looked like a fucking ambulance chaser, that guy. Like nobody was going to trust or believe him. But this new one that he's got, she's pretty. She looks confident. She looks very well educated. Obviously, she's a lawyer. She's very well educated. She's up there, and she's like, yeah. And then she was in the courtroom today going, I got news for you. They better stop, because my client's not going to get a fair trial with everybody going around in the government saying that he's already guilty and all this and that. So she's fucking lining up shit to get this thing fucking thrown out. I'm telling you this.
So, I mean, I haven't been following the case. I can't say, is he guilty? Do we know it was him? He's on tape. They show a guy. Is it definitely this guy?
Listen, you're never going to catch me shitting on Taylor Swift, okay? Because we have a podcast to run here. I'm not going to turn on this guy either. I'm keeping him in the plus column for the time being, because I don't want to lose viewership.
Well, listen, I don't know. I mean, if he's the guy, if he's guilty, then that's it. I mean, he's guilty. That's it. Goes away.
But people literally don't. Again, I've seen zero remorse for the guy who lost his life. Nobody gives a shit.
But still, it's like you're still a murderer.
I hear you. Speaking of, Bill Clinton's in the hospital. How about that, Frankie? See,
he is, right? He has like a fever or a flu or I don't know what.
Yeah. What?
You didn't see how him and his lawyer matched?
Who in his lawyer matched? Luigi Mangioni?
Yeah,
no.
$4,000 Maison sweater.
Hold on, we got fashion news here, Frankie. See, go ahead. Tell the people.
No, I'm not. That Luigi and his new lawyer, they matched. he had like a deep burgundy like sweater. And his lawyer had like a burgundy sweater like that underneath her blazer with a white shirt. Like and women were commenting. They're like, "Oh, how cute!"
I was just gonna say, that sounds adorable. Sounds adorable. Who could put a guy like that in jail?
$1,000.
Well,
$1,000. Who's got money?
That's why Anthony likes her, because she's wearing a blazer.
Yeah, that's true. She was wearing a blazer. My biological clock is ticking like this. All right. Anyway, listen. Former President Clinton hospitalized today after he came down with a fever. You know what that means? He will be dead soon.
He needs more cowbell.
Yeah, they don't drag you off to the hospital for a fever unless you're old and going to die really, really soon.
He has been looking kind of frail.
78 years old. Yeah. Well, you know what? Fuck him. Because between all those trips to the fucking Epstein's Island, he can go fuck himself. I hope he drops dead on Christmas morning in front of his grandchildren.
See, you don't say the same thing about Trump, and he went to Epstein. He was on Epstein's plane.
Trump gave us a Superman movie. That's the difference.
I hate you.
Not one Superman movie during the entire 8-year Clinton administration. Okay.
Is that true?
That's true. My fucking, I don't know. That's true. My stats are phenomenal. Let's go over to the quantum physics before we get to the worst Christmas song, and then we're into game time already. By the way, does the game have anything to do with Christmas music? I hope not.
I don't know the game. I do not get hints about the game. I do not hear about any of it.
That's
all I know. The only thing I was told about the game is pen and paper.
Okay. That's as big of a lie as Clinton was never on Epstein's Island. That's how big of a fucking lie that was just there.
I never said that.
Aaron C is in the chat. Can you tell? Because Aaron, if yours is music related, then we can kind of tie the two in together. Like we should have
the worst Christmas song. You mean?
Yeah. Because I don't want to do the same topic. I don't want to steal the thunder of the game. That's the finale. So, all right. While we're figuring that out with Aaron C, let's go to the quantum physics topic. Okay.
What do we got?
Give you a little history here. And Frank and I have talked about this before. Frank has no idea what I'm about to say. But the truth of the matter is Frank and I met when we were in the 4th grade. And one of the first big 5th grade, I do that all the time too. One of the first big discussions we had, I was saying, if you're facing one direction and you can't see behind you, how do you know that those things are back there? Right. And no matter what, like we were in a classroom and there were closets behind me. And I go, I know there's closets, but I can't see it. How do I know it's really there? And it drove Frank up a fucking wall. It drove him crazy.
Yeah. I'm sitting there going, because I'm telling you that it's third party perspective. You turn around and look, they're there. If you turn away, they're still going to be there. Basic physics tells you that it's not going to disappear because it can't disappear. And that's matter sitting behind you. It's not a mirage or anything. It's physical. It's physically there.
Correct. So that was 5th grade. What year was that? I don't even know. 30 years ago, maybe?
They're early 90s.
How old are you in 5th grade, D? 10?
11.
10 or 11. So 30 years ago. Basically 30 years ago, this podcast started.
Yeah, there were no microphones. It was just me and you arguing about physics. So fast forward 30 years later, and there's a quantum physics theory out there now that because they believe, or it's being hypothesized that we live in a simulation, that the theory of, similar to a video game, you know how you go into like areas of a video game and then they suddenly things get rendered as you move into that area.
This is what scientists believe actually is happening in our planet, in our universe, in this time. So I may have been right all this time. A 5th grader got this right 30 years ago.
See, here's why I don't buy it. Because the exact same thing is going to be there.
Did we do this already?
We must have done. We talk about this.
That button's too high on that chair. That's what made me think. When I heard this, I go, "Oh, I think this is it." We went back to the first episode. I think this is over.
This is it. This is the end of the podcast. But like if I went up to a tree in the middle of the woods and carved my name into it, and then I left and I came back, it's going to be the exact carving. It's not going to be like it's rendered in a different way. It's not. It's the same fucking thing is going to be sitting there.
I don't know because all right, it's this whole thing called split theory. Have you ever heard of this?
Oh, sure, yeah. I co-wrote the fucking. No, I never heard of split theory.
All right. This guy explains it on TikTok. His name is Mr. Cult Daddy, so you know it's genuine.
Oh, it's genuine stuff we're talking about here. Was it Dr. Cult Daddy?
Mr. No, just Mr. He hasn't got his.
Oh.
But it's a 4-minute video. I don't think anybody can hang for it, but it's very, very interesting on how they were doing these experiments that go back to Thomas Young, so long time ago. And this whole, I don't know, do you want to see like the first, do you want to see a little bit of, okay. All right. I didn't think so. It's this weird thing.
Listen, I'm not, if it's all a simulation, okay. I mean, there's this theory, the other theory with it being a simulation, that the speed of light is the barrier. Like a video game. There are certain barriers that you can't cross because that's the way the game is built.
Right.
Speed of light is the fastest any object or anything can go, and you can't go past or faster than the speed of light.
You can't beat light.
You can't beat. That's the fastest anything can go.
Which makes a lot of sense to me because it's like it's the lightest too, right? Like, I mean, imagine what you would have to get moving that could be as light as light.
Well, weight doesn't have anything to do with it. If it's in a vacuum, there's no weight problems.
There isn't. Like if I wanted to go as fast as the speed of sound, I can do that in a jet and airplane, right? But I can't do that. I mean, I'm gonna beat light. How is that possible? Like it just seems like there's so much to.
Yeah, light is incredibly fast. You can't go faster than that. But sound, if you wanted to go as fast as sound, you could do. If you wanted to go in a vacuum, you can go. Something that weighs 1,000 pounds and something that weighs a feather can go the exact same speed. If you drop them both, they're going to fall the exact same speed.
Yeah, I got that, but I don't like when you're traveling like light. I don't know. I feel like it's part. I don't know how to describe it. But
light is not going to because it's lighter. It sounds like a light word. No, anything. I mean, nothing can travel the speed of light, or we're not even close to that. I forget what the number is, but it's an insane number per second, and it's like ridiculous. But my point is, like, if you're talking about how could we get something heavy to move fast?
It's just like you're talking about barriers, right? So sound, I yell and the sound travels. I can see that. I put a light, a spotlight on. The light travels. I can see that. I can justify that. If you're talking about us getting us to move as fast as these things, we've figured out sound, and now you're saying, and other people are saying that light's the barrier. There's just no way. I get it, because it's like, how could you get this to move as fast as that? It seems like sound was pretty impossible until we figured it out, but I could see that being as something that we never actually quite do.
Well, sound we did on Earth with Earth's physics around it, but if you're in space, the space shuttles and the what's it called, space station moves around the Earth. It orbits the Earth in 90 minutes. It's moving at an incredible speed that they don't even feel.
That's amazing to me.
Yeah, so it's moving at.
So you're saying we're weightless up there? It's not going to make a difference.
Exactly. So you could be moving at 20 Gs. You're not going to feel it because there's nothing pushing on you. There's no gravity pulling you down. You're not fighting against anything pushing you in the opposite direction. So you're just moving.
I mean, that's really amazing. What does it take 90 minutes for that thing to rotate around the planet?
To go around the Earth, the space station goes around in 90 minutes.
Wow. That
That's
I
how
didn't know.
fucking fast it's going. 20,
Yeah,
or that 25,000 miles in 90 minutes.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
Just Bill, good to have Just Bill in. Old school Twitter Bill guy.
Hey.
Good dude, hilarious. Not going to render different, just won't render when you're not looking at it. But isn't it weird to think that, like how video games are, that actually might indeed be the case? Meaning
But
that,
why? What are they saving energy?
yeah, I guess so. It would be some sort of a self-preservation energy tool that if nobody is always going to render that area, it's just it does. It's the old saying: if a tree falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it, does it make a sound? You know, I mean, that's kind
No.
of fascinating. We came up with that, and now they're actually proving some of these things scientifically.
Well, the thing with that is, if no one's there to hear it, the way sound exists is it has to vibrate off of your ears, of your eardrums. If it doesn't do that, is there sound? That's kind of I say that there is sound. It's not being received. It's just sound is just the vibration of particles.
This might be the funniest answer to that question. I sometimes hear it.
Oh, Robin.
It depends.
Yeah, maybe.
This is funny. Who's ready for the movie explaining the universe called by Fifth Grade?
We made a real movie about things disappearing behind you, June.
Doesn't make any sense. Paul, leave the science to President Musk. I will. All right, here I'm going to put this in the live chat. Everybody can peruse it at their own time. This guy in his whole video, and it's fascinating because they did a thing where they put particles through a slit. They cut a little slit out. They passed particles through, and they realized that the particles behave differently whether they were being observed or not observed. And then they put
there's an observation effect, sure. Yeah,
they put two slits in the thing, and then they thought, well, if they do it this way, it's going to change the way these particles interact. And then they put it underwater and thought it would, would it possibly change how it acted in observation or whatever? Because judging by you drop a little pebble in the water and you see that the rings, you put two pebbles, it's going to act differently. And they acted differently every single time, and it leads to this thing that like. It's like if you're in a computer simulation and you're not you're only going to render something if you really need it.
Well, if it acts differently every single time, wouldn't that negate the simulation theory? Because if it's a simulation, wouldn't it simulate the same thing over and over? Wouldn't it act the same every time?
I don't know, but doesn't it feel like maybe I see what you're saying, but it leads me to a bigger point. Doesn't it feel like something that we're headed towards just a massive shift? I don't know if this is just like me hitting 42, but it feels like between the string theory and the multiverse and the computer simulation and the fucking drones and Bethany Frankel getting things right, it feels like we're just AI. Just feels like we're headed towards like a massive change, in the world. Maybe,
yeah. We'll probably. I mean, we're in the what is it? The industrial era, and we're taking leaps forward all the time in that arena. I came up with I don't know if it's a viable theory or not. You want to hear it?
Yes.
Okay. So you know how people say, all right, we're in the third dimension because we have the X, Y, and Z axis. We could see in 3 dimensions. And they say, oh, there's there's 1 dimension, 2 dimensions, and 3 dimensions. 1 dimension is a dot, 2 dimensions is a line, 3 dimensions is, okay. You know what I'm talking about?
Can I say something?
Yeah.
I'm with you, and I feel like the best is the 5th dimension because nobody had more hits
That's
than
a
the 5th dimension.
That's a good point. To jump right over the 4th dimension.
Yeah.
So nobody gives a fuck about the 4th. So I submit that there is only the 3rd dimension. Because if you say, all right, we have a 3rd dimension, so there has to be 1 and 2, but we never really see the 1st and 2nd dimensions, do we? Because no matter what we're looking at, it has 3 dimensions. Even if you draw a dot, that dot has depth, it has width, it has height. No matter how thin it is, I don't care how flat you make something, it's still going to have depth, even on the atomic level. So how can we have a one-dimensional thing? And how can we have a two-dimensional? Everything exists in the third dimension, I feel. Am I wrong there?
I think you might have something there. I'm trying to poke a hole in this, and I'm struggling to come up with something, because your theory about if you draw a dot, it is true.
Every time you hear someone talk about the three, first, second, and third dimensions, their explanation for the first dimension, well, it's a dot. And then for the second dimension, you could draw a line, and it's got length and maybe height, but that's it, no depth. But every line and whatever we draw has three dimensions to it. No matter what we draw, a cartoon, I don't care how, it's flat, but is it really flat? It exists in the three-dimensional world.
Well, your wife has showed up to, I think, dispute you on this. And Just Bill says to us, but the dot has no depth.
Sure it does. Why wouldn't the dot have depth?
Like, are you saying the dot's perception?
Well, the dot is not a living thing. Even single cell organisms have depth. They're all tiny, but they have depth and width and length. The dot itself has depth to it.
Well, single cell organisms are good, but nothing's better than a multiple organism. It's
hard to do, though.
That's what I hear from the ladies.
Well,
Aaron,
they're rare.
do you have something to shed on this, as Just Bill suggests the planiverse?
No, I just thought I was next.
Oh, okay.
We could have talked about this on the 420 show.
I know. All right, we'll shelve it for the 420 show. Aaron's here. Which what?
Frank was like 2 sentences away from saying it's got to be your dot. Like it's got to be your account from Tommy Boy.
Got to be your dimension.
Cuddles is very excited to play the game. I would like to bring Cuddles on. Aaron's here. I'd like to talk about worst Christmas song.
Sorry, I jumped the gun.
No. I want you here for worst Christmas song. We require more people for this. Everybody think about their worst Christmas song, and you could start throwing it into the live chat or comment below if you're on the replay crew. What's the worst Christmas song to you? There was some guy who put out a study that said that Paul McCartney's Wonderful Christmas Time, he repeats.
No way.
Well, it's just that he repeats Wonderful Christmas Time like 37 times in the song, which therefore makes it the most simplistic and stupid like Christmas song ever.
No. So what makes a song a bad song is that as if people don't like it and you can't, and it's just not enjoyable. That's an enjoyable song.
It is very simplistic, but I do love. But I can remember hating that song, and then one year it just clicked with me, and I'm like, you know what? This is like so nostalgic and wonderful. But do I only love it because it's nostalgic and not because it's good?
I like the tune too. Da, da, da. It only comes this time of year, simply. And he says simple right in the title. I mean, I don't understand.
He does point out that it is simple, so I will give you that.
We're simply having a wonderful Christmas time.
That is something to think about. Do you have a worst song that you absolutely hate?
Yes.
Go ahead.
This song is, I can't even listen to it without cringing, and it's awful. The Pretenders, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas.
Why don't you like the Pretenders, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas?
Are you serious?
Oh, that's so nice.
Oh man, she dragged. I feel like the notes are a half a note off, and she's like, "Have yourself," and it's just what I'm trying to think of the exact phrase. It's like the end of each line is like tonight. It's like, oh my god, it's like nailed on a chalkboard. That song.
That's crazy.
Frank actually drives worse when he hears it. I have to change it.
Son of a bitch! And
he starts like drift into other people's lanes. I'm like, careful.
That is nowhere near the worst Christmas song ever. I can see not liking it, but
I can't. It's just the way she, and it's the song is, I like Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas, but the way she sings it, and I like the Pretenders, but this song for some reason, holy crap, it's just like she drags these notes, and it's like she just pulls these like off. The notes are just off. I don't know what the hell it is, but it sounds like just get to the end of the fucking song already. I can't take it.
It's very 80s heavy with production. I will say that. It's like very has that like echo.
Oh, Robin said he's never heard it. Go
What? No,
Well,
you've
go on
heard it.
YouTube.
You've
Frank
heard
does
it.
a pretty good impression.
Yeah,
I
Frank's
think
impression
I know what
is
it
pretty
sounds like.
I'm saying like, I'm not going to sound like her, but it's very just, and I again, no offense to the Pretenders. I think they're great, but this song, for some reason, holy cow. I want a hippopotamus for Christmas. That's a
cute song.
And you rarely hear it. That's like, I hear it once every like 3 years.
Yes. Well, I hear it more often. Here's the thing. It was like my daughter's favorite song for a little while. So now I have like
That's cute.
it's got like there's a place in my heart for it. But Christina K does not like it, and neither does Robin's wife. So I'm about to take that one off the list.
Has anyone said the Christmas shoes?
Okay,
That's me. That's me.
Me too.
Brutal.
I don't like. Here's Christmas shoes came in post 9/11. It got us through a couple of years. It's time to put it back on the shelf and never touch it again.
It's time to bury it in a time capsule and let them open it up in like 300 years from now.
Yes, it's weird though because it really kind of helped that first Christmas, and even into the second and maybe third Christmas. But after a while, at some point after 9/11, we were just like, "Holy shit, this song sucks. We got to stop playing it."
This is a depressing fucking song, and I can't take it.
Yeah.
It's fucking brutal. Okay, this is interesting. Mercury says Feliz Navidad and that awful song by Mariah. I'm assuming
my God.
she means the big hit from Mariah, which I feel like is the last mega Christmas hit we've had.
And that was how many years? That had to be 15
94.
years ago.
Yeah.
94? That wasn't 94.
It was like 92,
Yeah.
3 or 4. Yeah, it was for sure.
Wow, that long ago, that one.
Maybe it was 95. I
thought it was the 2000s. I'm all right.
No.
Yeah.
But Feliz Navidad, here's what's interesting about that. We let one Spanish song through and one Spanish song only. We've not had another Spanish Christmas hit since Feliz Navidad.
Mm.
How is that allowed to happen? You know what I mean? Feliz Navidad is old as shit too. That's like 50 fucking years old, that song.
That's true. Trying to think if there are any other Spanish like mainstream popular Christmas songs.
Yeah, and think about it too. It is kind of a shitty song because I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas. I want to wish you a Merry Christmas.
From the bottom of my heart.
It's like you didn't have to repeat that 3 fucking times. I got it. I got it the first time when you said it not in English. I knew what the fuck you were talking about. Now you're repeating it 3 more fucking times for me. It's like enough already.
I mean, this are songs. You repeat stuff. I get that.
That's a lot of repeating.
All right.
That is a lot of repeating. Same goes for Paul McCartney too. I mean, that's a lot of repeating for somebody who fucking wrote yesterday. You know what I'm saying? Like clearly one of those took longer than the other to write and simply having a wonderful Christmas time and a lot of repeating.
I mean, there's got to be a Paul McCartney Christmas album, right? And is that the one that? No, it was just that one song.
Just the one song, yeah.
All right.
Yeah. I've not heard of anybody who doesn't like the Mariah Carey song. That's really interesting. I've not really heard that as
Blasphemy.
Yeah, that's like a big one.
I think some people may not like it because it's just nonstop. It's played everywhere all the time in everything, and it's just never. Oh, the Run DMC song is great.
Okay, but hear me out. I fucking love Christmas Time in Hollis. But is that because we're from Queens and it was such a holy shit, this is down the block from where we are?
I think it's a catchy song and it's a fun, upbeat Christmas song. I think it's great. Boom. I
know, I love it.
That's a great tune.
But I put it on the podcast. We put out a Christmas playlist. I put it on there because I love it. but I was listening to it and I go, this does not go with any other Christmas song. Like it really, like I feel like it's a New Yorker Queens thing. I don't know if everybody loves that song as much as
why-
we do.
Well, that's why it's not as popular as the rest, as a ton of other Christmas songs that get repeated over and over and over and over. I mean, it's the same 10 songs sung by different people. It's all, it's all jingle bells and have a holly jolly, and it's the same song every time you turn on the radio, but it's just sung. This one happens to be sung by Michael Bublé. This one is Celine Dion. This one is Mariah Carey. It's like it's the same fucking song now.
Okay, here's another one, which I feel like most of us love. Dominic the Donkey.
The weird
People
one.
fucking hate that song.
Why? I love it.
I know, but do you love it, Cuddles? Because
I
do you love it though? Because it's like, oh, we grew up Italian. This was our little thing. We have our own little thing, and it's got some of our language in it. It's kind of fun. It's got the little tarantella in it. It drives fucking people crazy. People fucking hate it. It's a little.
I mean,
when you look at it through that way and you take away all your growing up experiences, if I told you I'm writing a song and it's jiggity jig and then a donkey goes ee-ah, and then we sing it's Dominic the Donkey, you'd probably be like, that's going to ruin your life. You're never going to.
I would probably commit you to a hospital. But
Yeah.
the thing, like, was there, before that song, was Dominic the Donkey a thing? Like, did he write the song because of this tradition of Dominic the Donkey, or did he just come up with a Dominic the Donkey?
I don't know if Dominic the Donkey was a thing, but I think the donkey in the hills of Sicily, that whole line, I think that was based on something that was like not a proverb, but like an old story that you passed down.
What was that one with the little mouse?
Peppino.
Peppino.
Peppino, oh, you little mouse. So
See, that's another catchy tune. Peppino, pa-pa-dee-pa-da-poo-pa-pee-pa-pa-pa-doo. I can't give you one line from the song, but it's a fun little ditty.
I don't know if
love
it's
that
just
song.
I don't know if it's just because we're Italian and that speaks to our heritage a little bit,
Nothing to do with that. I think it's just a funny song.
Fly and Y says Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues is the best. That song is having a real resurgence. I don't know if you saw Saturday Night Live this past weekend, but Hozier did that on SNL. Yeah, Martin Short hosted the Christmas finale, whatever they call it, the Christmas show every year, and they Hozier brought that one out. That's a good one. That's a pretty good one.
I like Sinatra's Jingle Bells. I've got those Jingle bells.
Oh,
yeah, that's the best version of Jingle Bells, I think.
Yeah. Do you know
I
what
agree.
song I can't stand?
What?
Can't stand by Gwen Stefani and Blake Shelton. Or Sheldon, whatever the fuck his name is, because he is another one that annoys me. It's like, you make me feel like Christmas.
Oh, you don't like that?
Stand that song. I can't stand them. They irritate me.
Why?
Because
Oh,
I just feel like she's not being herself. She kind of does like this country thing because of him.
so you know what I
just
think your
don't like
problem
it.
is? You're assuming that she's a holler back girl, and she ain't. She ain't.
Well, no,
point.
she is.
I think that's a cute one. You know what else is really growing on me in the last couple of years? The Kelly Clarkson one.
Which one's that?
You're here, greatest of the snow is falling, and I can't be there. Just wasn't the same.
Alone
on Christmas Day. That one, you've heard that one.
I
I
like
like
it, Frank.
Sia, Candy Cane Lane. Me and the kids sing that in the car in like July.
Yeah, that's a classic. It's becoming a new classic.
I still like the Grinch, where they just shit on the guy for like 4 minutes.
Yeah.
You're an asshole, Mr. Grinch.
Paul says River by Joni Mitchell is the best Christmas song. One of the most unique Christmas songs because it rarely kind of talks about Christmas. And it's kind of sad as shit too, but it works. It really works during Christmas time.
What's the one? There's a song. Oh man, the guy who's singing. It's like Dan Fogelberg. Christmas Old Lang Syne.
Lang Song. and Old
Yeah.
Lang song where he meets
Mhm.
his
Oh.
girl. With Santa Claus to innocence, we
Yep.
drank a toast. I love that song.
I like
And
that.
then it goes into like New Year's, right?
That's exactly.
Right?
It
Yeah,
ends it all.
love it.
Christmas Old Lang Syne. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Yes, that's true. But that is very 80s. Like that is dripping in
Oh,
80s-ness.
Oh, hell yeah.
Absolutely. But it's good.
What the fuck is Christmas? We watch Christmas Eve on Sesame Street every year. Is that like a special or something?
Oh.
It's just basically, I asked, does anybody remember the first time I heard Feliz Navidad? Big Bird was skating with a little girl in a skating rink, and I just remember watching it, and I just remember some of it being Spanish, some of it being in English, and I just told my dad, like, what are they saying? And he was like, they're saying Merry Christmas, and then they're saying it in Spanish. Anyway, the point is, I feel like it's one of those things where like nobody knows what I'm talking about. Like Frank was like, no, I don't know what that is. You know, my sister who lived in the same house that I did, it doesn't know what I'm talking about. So my dad is a
Oh.
denier, which is weird because he was there. So it ends up that just Bill remembers it and says it's called Christmas Eve on Sesame Street. I just looked it up. It was first aired in 1978, and Frank, we're watching it tonight.
Love it. I love that Bill. Bill is a good dude like that. He'll connect with you on some odd shit. That's sort of his specialty. Now, let me ask you a question. This girl that Big Bird was skating with, was she at least 17 years old? Because if not, we're going to have a Matt Gaetz situation on our hands, and I can't be a part of it.
Oh, boy.
No, they were just holding hands and skating. It was very innocent.
That's what Matt Gaetz said. And then all of a sudden, there was a lot of Venmo payments.
Not cool. Not cool.
Don't do that to Big Bird.
A lot of Venmo payments.
That's a national treasure. Don't
No,
do that.
I agree. I hope Big Bird doesn't have some suspect Venmo payments.
I hope it all just checks out and he's all right.
Yeah.
Maybe Big Bird will be the next Attorney General. We never know.
Yeah. Was Big Bird a boy or a girl? I always thought it was a girl.
It was a boy.
Big Bird's a boy?
Yeah, they came out a couple of years ago and confirmed. He's a boy.
This is why I'm so comfortable with transgender people. It doesn't, it's just whatever. See, I'm fine with it. It's not a big deal.
Yeah, doesn't matter.
Big Bird was a girl my entire life up until this moment, and it's still okay. So that's why I think I'm so accepting. Let me tell you something. DJ Shanigan said, love the Muppets Xmas movie.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
I love the Muppets Xmas movie. We when we were in Florida at Disney, we went to go see the Muppets. You know, they have that little show where you go in the theater and you watch the Muppets show in Hollywood Studios.
I didn't know they still had that.
They're getting rid of it, so it was like our last time seeing it. I got a little emotional in the fucking Muppet theater. I was like, this is really sad. This is like a end of a chapter kind of thing going on.
I don't know why they would get rid of it. You just expand.
Speaking of end of a chapter, sorry, but I got to plug my book for a second because there's a scene in my book that this really happened to me in real life. I used to work at a pool in the summer, and they used to have movies every Wednesday night. And I remember one time they couldn't find the one that they wanted to air, so they did the Muppet Christmas Carol like in July, and everybody was so happy.
Yes,
Like halfway, like half an hour in, somebody like found the reel that they were supposed to find, and they were like, "No, burn it." These people are all so happy.
That's fucking great. I love
It's
that.
a great movie. And we saw a thing recently that Michael Caine was like, he treated it like he was doing Shakespeare in the theater. Like he's like, I'm giving this 110%. Like I'm not even talking to puppets. I'm talking to like I'm putting all into, and he gave like the performance of a lifetime in that movie.
He did. That's right, because he was terrible in Batman, and that was the last time he laid it all out. Was that fucking Muppets movie?
You're awful.
That is one of the best Christmas carols, though. Versions of the Christmas Carol is the Muppets one is phenomenal.
That's a great one. The Disney one is a great one with Scrooge McDuck as Ebenezer Scrooge.
Yep. Okay, that is a good one. Yeah, they're all good cartoon ones. Like my parents are here, so they like my mom was like, "Let's watch the original." So I thought she was talking about like the George C. Scott version from like the 70s. She was talking about the one from like the 30s. I'm like, I don't think we can put this on with the kids in the fucking room.
What about the one with Patrick Stewart? No, you got to do the one with Scrooge and what's his name? Goofy is fucking Jacob Marley, and Mickey Mouse is Bob Cratchit.
Yeah. Well, you don't want to know what's weird. I saw somebody did like a whole video dissertation on. Sorry, I'm trying to do something. Did a whole thing on The Christmas Carol, and how many times it's been made into a movie. It's like a billion fucking times.
It's a lot. It's a lot. That's probably the most remade movie ever.
I think you might be right. And you want to know, so he's going through all the different variations of the movie, and I couldn't keep track of all of them, but the one that stuck with me was the ghosts go to visit Ebenezer Scrooge in this one version of the film, and they realize they got the wrong person, but they just go through with everything anyway.
The guy's like, I'm fine with Christmas. What are you doing here? What?
They just did it anyway. I'm like, what fucking movie is this?
We'll just do it live.
Like, who finances this? That was the whole premise. They got the wrong guy. They go through it anyway. I'm like, oh shit, okay.
Meanwhile, the wrong guy is still screwing with his employees and looking over everybody.
Because I forgot, but Spirited, the one with Ryan Reynolds and Will Ferrell on Apple, is basically the Christmas
That's
Carol.
another one.
It's a wacky, different telling of it, which has been done before too. You know, the kind of angle they took on it, they said it wasn't really all that original. So I don't really know. But we just named two. I'll tell you the third, Scrooged. Scrooged is one.
That's a great one.
It's a phenomenal one. Yeah,
absolutely. That's a wonderful one. Bill Murray, great one.
It is so good. It is so good.
One of them.
Yeah, so that. All right, so we all got our worst Christmas song out there. I feel like we covered a lot of that ground. Let's go on.
And whoever doesn't know the song, The Pretenders, Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. It's terrible. I'm sorry.
It is not great. Did you know? Because my son asked me this the other day. He's like, "Dad, what was the first Christmas Carol?" I didn't know, and then I found out what it was.
The first Christmas Carol.
Yeah. Do you know what the first Christmas Carol was?
Is it like obvious, or I'm never gonna get it?
Yeah, it's kind of obvious. You probably don't even know it's the first one though.
So like Silent Night or something.
See, that's what I started to think. Like, oh, it's got to be some sort of hymnal, about Jesus and whatever. Just strictly Christmas Carol, but the focus is on Christmas and not necessarily Jesus.
Was it the Rum DMC one?
Christmas and Olive Queens. Yeah.
I don't know. What do you got?
The Christmas song, Chestnuts Roasting on an Open Fire. That was the first one because Irving Berlin came over here, a Jewish guy from not America, came to America and wrote the preeminent Catholic Christmas song.
Wow.
Yeah, Irving Berlin was the first one, and that went to, obviously was huge. Nat King Cole's version in, I don't even know, 45, I believe. Yeah, 1945.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think with all the Christmas, however many centuries Christmas goes back, they never sang a song?
It's weird to think about, but this whole Christmas thing was really
Oh yeah, it was modernized into commercial and all that stuff.
Yeah, it's bizarre, but when you go look at it, it's really a turn of the century thing. Like the truth. I have to whisper this because I don't know if the kids are still awake. But the truth of the matter is that Coca-Cola did really make Santa Claus red and white, and that really became. It was kind of funny how it all just fell together into this whole commercial thing. The truth.
Yeah.
It's kind of still fascinating, though, I think.
Oh, sure. Every country does a different thing. Everybody's got their own traditions.
Yeah. I got Adam Sandler's Hanukkah song in my head. Classic. I feel like
so good.
That's disappeared though. You don't hear that as often. When radio dominated, I feel like it was a big deal. Now that we're in streaming, I don't really. When's the last time you heard the Hanukkah song in like the mall or at the store? It doesn't come up like it used to years ago.
That's true.
I don't know why. I think it's anti-Semitism. I'd love to bring it back.
Well, are you picking your music that you're listening to, or are you just playing random songs?
Both. A little of both.
And it's not a Christmas song, so it's a Hanukkah song. So is it, if you are picking your playlist and you write, I want to hear Christmas songs, is this going to play?
Yeah, I don't know. It should.
Mm,
I feel like it should be mixed in because even though it's a Hanukkah song, it
The
still
holiday song. Yeah.
makes me think of Christmas. You know, it just makes me think of the holidays. Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. It's weird too. You don't really have that. I don't know if we'll ever get that again because he did that on SNL and then they put out the audio from SNL and then he did it live somewhere and they recorded it and they put that out and it
Well,
went
he
even
did like
bigger.
3 versions of it, didn't he?
And then that was just the first version and then he did the sequel which was massive by that time and then he eventually did a third years later. Yeah.
Mhm.
OJ Simpson, still not a Jew, by the way. Never wavered in all three versions.
But guess who is? Hall of Famer Rod Carew.
He converted.
Dear Abby
Yeah, Dear Abby was so
And
good.
Landers.
Yeah.
and her sister, Dear Abby.
Harrison Ford's a quarter Jewish, not too shabby.
Not too shabby.
We watched Star Wars, by the way, the first one.
The original first one?
The episode 4.
Nice.
Very slow. Very, very slow.
Shut up.
Tough to get through.
Thank you.
Don't know how that became such a huge phenomenon, but I'm on board for the rest.
I don't like you.
I know. We have a blind top 5, 8, Frankie C. Let's turn it over to the great Aaron C. Cuddles is here to play along. Jay
I'm here.
Sebs is on her deathbed.
Oh
Wish her
no.
nothing but the best. Because
yeah,
here's why I want to see Jay Sebs get better. I actually think she's got a shot at Luigi Mangioni. I really do.
He's not old enough for her.
That's true, but I think if we just get them in a room together, we'll see sparks fly. So
Okay.
I'm rooting for her.
Poor invisible husband.
I know. I
Oh.
know. She's gonna kill him anyway. We all know that's gonna. We're just one day we're gonna be like, no, we haven't seen in a while. Is Jay Seb's husband, and then she's gonna be like, yeah, well, he left months ago,
I
and then
can
we're
never
gonna go.
follow anything nice. All right. Everybody ready? Got their pen and their paper and their 8
Yes.
spots?
8
Okay, good.
spots.
Okay, so this is okay. Now everybody has plans for Christmas this year. Sorry, it's not holiday. It's strictly Christmas. Everybody.
Yeah, step
has their
aside,
Christmas-
Jews. Tell them, Aaron.
No, I
Tell
don't mean it like that. I don't mean it like that. There's just not a lot of Jewish movies. Sorry. So these are okay. So 8 spots. And this is through the magic of Christmas. Next year, you can live like one of these Christmas characters. I'll tell you the character, I'll tell you the scenario. And if it sounds like something you'd want to do next year, move it toward 1. And if you don't really want to do that, move it toward 8. And these are all possible through the magic of blind top 5. Okay?
Love it.
Cool.
Okay. What did you say, Cuddles?
I said, cool. All right, I'm ready.
Okay, great.
Anywhere but here.
Okay.
Ah, it's nice.
Not like not right now.
Cuddles is like, I don't have to deal with the kids. I'm in. I'm taking
Isn't
all.
that nice? That's nice. 2 days before Christmas.
She's gonna
Yeah.
put all 8 films in one spot. All 8 characters in one. All right, go ahead.
Okay.
Aaron.
The first Christmas character is John McClane in Die Hard. You get to play hero in a dangerous situation on Christmas Eve, but because I make the rules, no one dies. You are just the hero.
Oh, that's.
Toast, have a few lifts.
I don't
All
like
right.
that.
You don't like that? You don't want to be the hero?
No, I'll
No.
tell you what. I'm putting this at number 9. Wait, 8 or 9?
8.
8.
Okay, I'm gonna put it at number 8. Then I'm gonna scratch it off at 9. Too much work. Holidays are not about running around and sweating. Even if you're saving people with ease and nobody's dying, you're still working hard. Can't
The
be.
holidays-
You do nothing. That's why.
Yeah, I
The
can't.
holidays is about running around and being crazy. That's the holidays.
Yeah, but I don't want to live my next year like that. That's not how I
Okay.
want to be.
Yeah, but you save the day.
Nah, but he's sweaty. He's in an undershirt. There's a lot of dirt. It's a lot of Advil, and man.
We'll take out the scene where he walked on broken glass. What'd you say, Aaron?
No, I just feel like this is a revisiting of you trying to make Jay Sabs an astronaut. I'm like, he doesn't have to save the Nagasaki Tower. He doesn't want to. Whatever the name
He
of the tower is.
does. He needs to.
I don't want to. Look, I'm in the wrong here. Look, Mercury at 3, Robin 2, Just Bill 1, me and Miss Justice 5, Flying Y 6. All right.
Just
I have
Bill,
it
where have
4.
you been? He and I are agreeing on a lot of stuff.
Welcome
Yeah.
to the party, pal.
Mhm.
I'm in at number 4.
Okay, Cuddles.
8.
Oh, you guys, you don't want to. You
I'm
don't want to.
exhausted. I'm
Well, that's fine.
exhausted. I am exhausted.
Yeah,
I'm
see, we're
tired.
tired.
I
No, but
am done.
this isn't you. This isn't you have to do your whole Christmas thing plus
They can
Die
do
Hard. This is
8.
you're
No, I
only doing
don't.
Die Hard.
Yeah, no, I don't want to do
Frank,
Die Hard. I don't want to do
All
anything
right.
next Christmas.
I-
she doesn't have to do Die Hard.
He has to do Die Hard.
Let's get a clarification on this. Is it how you're going to live the next year, or how
No, it's
you are
just-
next Christmas?
This next Christmas, instead
Okay.
of doing what
Okay.
you're doing this year, you're gonna be. What's the name of the tower, hun?
Nakatomi Plaza
I
Towers.
was not close. That you'll be doing that. It's just fun. It's not serious. But
Yeah.
you can put it at 8. That is serious. I am
Yeah.
serious about that.
No, I'm liking my spot. It's too much work.
All right.
He works too hard.
Maybe the next character will be more your speed.
Okay.
It is Kevin McAllister in Home Alone. Everyone leaves for France and accidentally leaves you
One.
alone for 2 days.
One.
Yeah, but you have to defend your house against.
No,
that's-
it's not that part. It's not that part.
Oh,
Just everyone accidentally leaves for France and leaves you alone for 2 days.
One.
on Christmas
One.
Hold
Frank,
on.
One.
They come back on Christmas
morning.
Eve
That's
or
true.
morning. Is it Christmas morning?
Yeah.
Christmas morning. So Christmas Eve, you're by yourself.
You're ruined. There's no 7 fishes. There's just mac and
Yes,
cheese.
I'm doing it
There's
by
mac-
myself.
There's
That's
mac and
just
cheese
for
and
me.
big thing of ice cream.
And a cheese pizza just for you.
Right.
Still
That's-
at number 1.
Home Alone is a fantasy film for Cuddles. Like that's what she fantasizes about.
I don't want to be alone on Christmas Eve. And
Oh my God, I would give anything. Do you know how many times I hear mom, 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 mom?
I'm putting that at
Mom.
7.
You said that you liked when I call you mom. Now all of a sudden I have to hear this.
Yeah, because we have 2 children. I shouldn't have to take care of 3.
I don't know where I want to put. Where did you put it, Frank?
7.
Cuddles, where are you're sticking with one?
I'm
You love.
sticking with 1.
Okay. All right.
Plus, I got to be afraid of old man Marley.
And that damn tarantula is still
Okay.
out.
Tarantula's loose in the house.
Can I ask you a question? It's not a coincidence his name is Marley. That was a nod to Christmas Carol, right? Or was that just a
Okay.
I don't
Sounds
know
good.
about that. All I know is that instead of saying hello to this kid, he just stared down at him with huge, scary eyes while dragging a shovel and garbage can and being as absolutely menacing as possible. But no, he's misunderstood. Fuck that guy.
That piece of
Hate that
shit.
guy.
that was the single greatest teardown of Home Alone I have ever witnessed. That was amazing.
That really was good.
The second time he runs into him is not much better. He slams his
No.
fucking bloody hand on the
He
counter.
slams me out, and then in church, he's like, "You shouldn't feel this way because I don't talk to my son." And it's like, what the hell is with this guy?
It's like when he said, "I don't talk to my son." Macaulay should be like, "Because you're fucking freaking everybody out, asshole. Why don't you say hello first? You crazy old cocksucker, you're driving me crazy." And have you ever heard of a Band-Aid? You're tying fucking material around your hand like you're on.
Just
You're in
staring
the
him
middle of a
down
war.
until he leaves terrified backwards out of a store. I can't with this asshole.
Like you're in the middle of, like you don't have a gauze bandage, you piece of shit. Get a fucking
He's ripping pieces of his t-shirt off, tying it around his head.
He's like, God.
You're right. There's a lot of more questions we should be. We accept you. You know what, Aaron? We accepted fucking old man Marley way too. We accepted his little "I'm misunderstood" story way too much. We should be.
Yeah, I'm
He's
not
like-
buying. I'm not buying that girl in the choir was his granddaughter,
Yeah.
since none of her family was there.
Yeah. Where
None
was
of
the
my family
son? You son of a bitch. Where was the son? He wasn't at the. He just drops off the daughter with the creepy old grandfather. That's it. You're
Yeah.
right.
Oh, you should know him. You should know her. He's about your age. Kevin had no idea who it was. It's like,
Yeah, because the world doesn't work that way. 2 kids the same age don't know each other all the time. I hate this guy. He's like, yeah, my son doesn't talk to me. I'm like, no kidding. Like, can we have a movie about this son? Because he's a lot more interesting and a lot more. I bet he's a lot more personable.
No, that's a good point. All right, I'm putting
Anyway.
Kevin McAllister at number 5. It's down the middle for me. I love the alone time. If the family came back Christmas Eve morning, that would be the perfect. I do like
Christmas
family.
Eve morning. That's different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's not the movie. It was Christmas morning.
It's not the game, so that's why I go 5. It would have been higher for me if it was. All right, we got lots of 7, 2, 2, 4, 3, 8. Sad story. Still too much work. That's true. It is still defending the house and everything, putting it on all the micro machines.
You don't have to do that.
Did you see the Family Guy one where they're like, if Home Alone had practical,
Oh yeah, just shoot.
just shoot people.
Great. Now there's no witnesses.
All right, Aaron, what's number 3?
Number 3 is The Ghost of Christmas Past / Ebenezer Scrooge from A Christmas Carol. You get to see select Christmases from your past.
That's nice.
That's wonderful.
I got to get up at midnight though for that.
Yeah, I
Oh
was
my
just
God,
about
Frank.
to say that. It's
What
gonna wake
is
me
wrong
from
with you
sleep.
people? I'm trying to introduce some Christmas magic, and all you're doing is introducing logic and problems.
Do I have to wear a nightshirt?
Oh, yeah.
And the
You have to
nightcap.
wear the one that you always wear.
I view that as
Okay, I'm in.
just walking around in a big long shirt. That's nice.
That is pretty cool. I'd do that. That sounds like a cool. Seeing Christmas pasts. You see old relatives that passed. That's a good one.
And I guess not only your own, but I guess you can take people to theirs.
No, what?
No,
You're
that's
not
what this is.
You're
No.
not the ghost.
You're
you're not.
It's just your Christmases from your past that you select ones. You don't have to do all of them, just the ones that you like.
that took it
The
too
ghost
far.
knows which ones you like best.
Oh, got it. Okay.
Am I flying through the neighborhood like they did in the movie?
Yes.
Sick.
Am I in an 80s taxi cab like they did in Scrooged?
No.
Buckle up, pal. I don't know if that's a line from the movie. It sounds like it would be.
Frankie Angel.
Thanks. Niagara Falls. All right, the Ghost
man,
of Christmas Past.
I'm going to put this as 2.
Yeah, that's where I'm going.
I don't know why I'm not doing 1. I think this is spectacular. I mean, that's really, when you get down to it, the wonderful thing about Christmas is remembering the Christmas of the past. It's like a huge chunk of what makes Christmas so great.
Yeah, and plus, again, you get to see your old relatives. You get to experience the joy. The whole thing. It's a nice thing. I like it.
Okay, I got 2. Frank, you said 2. Cuddles.
I did say
Number
2.
3.
Cuddles in at 3. There you go. Okay, lots of mid numbers in the live chat too. So that's good. Okay. All right.
Okay. Next up is Iris or Amanda from The Holiday, played by Kate Winslet and Cameron Diaz. You get to spend Christmas in an entirely different setting than the one from where you live. The only caveat is it must be one you have never experienced before. So Christmas in an entirely different place.
This is a good one.
Good.
I'll tell you why I say that. The idea, this is like one of those things where the fantasy of it is better than actually doing it. Like, I love to fantasize about going away and being on an island and just doing something different this year for once. But I feel like if I actually really did do it, I would hate it. I'd want to, you know what I mean? It's about the traditions. So bucking the trend is not as appealing as it sounds when you're just fantasizing about it.
Right. When you do a holiday like that, like doing that at some point in the year, whatever, that's great. But yeah, doing that on Christmas, it's like, it would be just like, for example, it would just be you and Cuddles doing this. Like if we're talking, sticking to the movie, The Holiday,
right?
It would just be the two of you in some other location having Christmas together. It wouldn't be you and your family.
Think about it. Even the most idyllic, like small European village with the snow falling so gently and then the frost around the windows and everything is just like a perfect Christmas card. To your point, would it be that great? Because you're not with your family, you're not with you're not in your traditions. You don't really know where to go.
Some people don't want to break from traditions. Some people just want, hey, just let's do something different. People are into that, but if you're into the family tradition stuff, The Holiday is not your game here.
That's why I'm going number 7, Frank. I love the idea of it, but execution-wise, I wouldn't want to be a part of it. Whereas Mountaintops put it at number 2. Where are you putting it, big dog?
I'm thinking 6. because I would be, home alone. I'm by myself. At least with the holiday, I've got Erin. It's the two of us, so it's better than Home Alone. Home Alone, I got it 7, so 6. I could leave it at 6. I could do that.
Cuddles?
4.
I thought Cuddles would have put this higher. I thought she would have been
Me
like,
too.
get away from you and the kids. This sounds like a great little fucking
No, it would be the two of you.
all of a
Yeah,
sudden.
I still have you.
Oh, I thought I wasn't going. I thought it was a solo trip.
No, the holiday is the couple goes. They switch places,
No, they don't.
No, it's just the women.
right?
But I don't care.
Oh, I
You
thought
can
they
bring
have
me.
them.
That's not a big deal.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
But
I
they
thought it
meet
would.
the other
It's
guys
more
while
like the
they're away.
location, not like the people. Like,
Oh,
Yeah.
I never saw the movie. Clearly,
Mhm.
I got to
I thought
share a
it was-
quick story about this movie because I shared it in the chat, but it bears repeating. I saw it on a bus, and the woman next to me was watching it at the same time I was, but we had our own headphones, and she like interrupted me, and she was like, "Why is Cameron Diaz so rich?" I was like, "Because she makes movie trailers," and she's like, "She got divorced." I'm like, "No, she's just rich," and she's like, "Her father has money." I'm like, I don't think
What is
so.
wrong
Like,
with people?
I know. And then she's like, "What a fantasy world," and like put her earbuds back in, and I was like, "My God." It was such a-
Wow,
like
she's a
only
real
on
gem.
buses, you know? Like
yeah.
you
It's like
can't
I don't
do
know
that.
any more about. I don't know any more about these characters than what's in the movie, lady.
Yeah, so weird. All right.
I'm watching it with you. Yeah, I didn't write the fucking thing. Like, what do you?
She's
What do you
like,
want from me?
she discovered an ancient, what is it like? She discovered the cave from Aladdin. It's like, no, none of this happened. She just makes money. You absolute weirdo. Okay. Next up is Clark Griswold from National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation. You host a lot of people for Christmas Eve and day. Could be your family, could be your friends. And for this scenario, you have the space. So it's not about my place is too small, or it's just the idea that you can have a huge Christmas Eve and day and you host it. Please don't dissect this one too much.
All right. Well, okay.
Do the lights work?
Yeah. Does everything go wrong?
Oh, the lights do work, and I don't know. It really depends on your friends and family if things go wrong or right.
All right. Let's see. I'm not I'll host, but not a
No, we
huge.
won't.
No, I don't want to. All right. I'm putting that at number either 5 or 8 because 6 and 7 are taken. Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to get errand because I feel like there's gonna be a rough one in there that I'm gonna want to put at 8. So I'll put it at 5.
Cuddles?
I put it at 2.
Interesting.
I like
Yeah.
hosting. I like having people over. I do. Just
Mhm.
burnt out.
Yeah. You just need another drink and you'll come back around again. That's
Oh.
all you.
That's probably true. I should open the bottle of wine.
Yeah, we're one bottle of wine away from turning it around. That's always the case with Cuddles.
You'll get to that bottle one day.
Yeah.
Solves it all.
No, not one day. In the next couple minutes.
With
All right.
Darren's help, we'll get that bottle of wine. I put it at number 1.
Wow.
Me, this is
Yeah.
what it's all about. It's about navigating those tricky waters of family. There's you fucking hate these assholes, but you're tethered to them for life, and that's all there is to it. All the toughness, the shitty parts of them, whatever it is.
Yeah, no problem with all that. The thing is, you're hosting everybody. They stay over your house. Isn't there a better scenario where someone else is hosting and you go there?
Frank, what did I say?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, no, I get it, but to me, this is that's the essence of what it is. I know everybody looks at that movie and they go, "Oh, if things would have just went so much better for him, it would have been a better situation." But the truth is, it never goes better. You know what I mean? It's just this is what it is, and it's number 1 to me. That's the level. There's a comfort there. I think that's what it's supposed to be. You're supposed to be smothered and annoyed and. That's it. That's what it is.
All right. Very good. Very good. Well, we have 3 left, and we'll see what they are. Let's see.
Okay. Next up is George Bailey from It's a Wonderful Life. You get to see what your life would be like if you were never born.
Oh boy,
Oh.
Mary. Mhm. Christmas, leave me alone. Okay.
It's very interesting to see what I love just looking at an alternate universe. Like that's
That
fun.
is weird. I can't even. I don't know, man. That's rough because it would be difficult. Because what if everybody's? I'd be like, oh shit, everybody's happy. They're all doing great without me.
Let me tell you
Oh, I'd
something.
be an old maid.
Your brother and mom and dad would be so much happier. I could just tell you that. I
Right?
don't know about
That's-
everybody else, but
Don't say that.
those three would just be
God.
fucking thrilled.
That's what I'm saying. What if all of a sudden you get to see all that?
Poor Aaron's
Yeah.
like, don't say that.
Yeah, I don't want to see Christmas without. I don't want to see.
either.
Yeah.
I have news for you, Aaron. Your sister and your parents would be so thrilled if you weren't around as well. So it holds true.
Dude. Dude.
Why?
Pretty standard across the board. I don't get mad at me. This is just a conversation your mom and I were texting about with your sister. We have a family chat. And you didn't
Oh,
know
yeah.
this?
No. My sister and my mom are not big fans of mine.
Okay. So I was
Of
gonna
course
say
they are.
it's essentially your family chat, except it's me, not you, and we just talk about daily occurrences.
It's nice.
Oh,
don't
don't
know.
say that, Aaron. I'm fond of you.
No. It's just a joke. I was just kidding. They like me fine. But I don't think anybody's family would be, I didn't mean for this to be so grim. I'm so sorry.
No, it's not.
No, it's not your fault.
Yes,
I took it
I
there.
guess I
It's-
could have
Yep.
foreseen it though.
No. You don't fall on this grenade. That was me. That's all my fault.
Yeah, this is Anthony's doing. But I wouldn't want to
doing
see.
8. Nobody likes this one.
No, I mean it's a good one to have on the list. It's tough to. I don't know if I'd want to see everybody in my life. Like what's going on with that. Because again,
Yeah.
what if they're live? What if everybody's a millionaire and I'm like, I'm the one holding everybody back?
And as Just Bill said, everyone will be in black and white, and that would suck.
That's true.
No, they worked
Like-
out for the people in Pleasantville. They loved it.
Mm.
I would
I'm putting
rewatch
this.
that movie if that's what you got from that.
Well, some of the people. I put this at number 4. I love this idea. I would love to see the world without me. I think it would just be interesting as all shit.
Mm-hmm.
I just think it would be fascinating as fuck because it's either like, oh wow, like look at it is. It's like look how much better this is, or it's also could be like, this needs me. There's so much worse off without me.
Could
So-
be. Who knows?
Yeah.
Rolling the dice.
Yeah.
All right, let's skip to the next one. His name is Hero Boy. So Hero Boy in the Polar Express, be able to be Santa side. Oh, that sounds horrible. I meant like next to Santa, not killing him.
He committed sanicide. It was very tragic.
I
It's
meant
tragic.
to be like, something side, like,
That's-
forget it.
That's the
Be able to
DVD
be
alternate
next
ending.
to Santa. What?
That's the DVD alternate ending.
Yeah, I'm so sorry.
Were you
Be
trying to
able-
say Santified?
No, I was trying to say next to Santa, like be Santa side. Like
Oh, got it.
yeah,
Like
but it was-
Fireside.
this is why you read it out loud. Okay. Be able to be next to Santa for Christmas Eve while he delivers all the toys in the entire world to everyone in the entire world in one night. Good Lord. Was I drinking when I wrote this?
That's the name of the main character in
Hero Boy.
is Hero Boy.
Hero
I never-
Boy.
Hero, but I don't know. That's a good one. I mean, you ride around in the sleigh. I'm assuming you're not freezing your ass off, and you get to. I mean, do you get to help at all, or are you just sitting there while he's on this? Because after a couple hours, you'll probably just like, all right, I guess we're going to like in Italy next.
What's with you tonight? You just refused to play along.
Wait,
No,
but
I'm playing them.
you're not on the train. You're not going through you're not doing the whole shtick of the movie.
I thought that he went with Santa to. I didn't see the movie. I thought that. Yeah, there was a train.
Okay, let me talk about this. Let's bring this up, Aaron.
Okay, maybe like the Santa Claus then that you could go
No,
see.
don't switch it. Let's stay with Polar Express.
All right.
Let's talk about this. I've seen Polar Express 50 times. I still
I
don't
read the-
understand. I don't understand what's happening. I
What-
don't get it.
what-
Neither do I. I don't
I
get
have
it.
no fucking clue what that movie is about.
Change it to the Santa Claus then.
No. This is what's more fascinating. I don't think anybody knows what that fucking movie is about.
Okay,
I think-
Hero Boy and the Polar Express. You for all Christmas, you don't know what's going on.
Cuddles, am I wrong? I think we all love the Hot Chocolate song, and that goddamn Josh Groban tune is a fucking tearjerker that we all seem to love. Outside of that, it looks like one crazy mushroom-driven fever dream of a fucking
Yeah.
night.
So what is it? They get on a train to the North Pole. What's the story? Like, what
I'm
is
so
happening?
glad we're talking about
I
this.
have
I'm
no
so
idea.
happy. Okay, so the kid falls asleep, and then he wakes up to a train outside his door. Falls asleep on Christmas Eve. Then he gets on the train reluctantly, and the
With
conductor
his
is
gold ticket.
with his golden ticket, and the conductor is Tom Hanks. Okay, and then all sorts of weird things start. By the way, it's a train in the middle of a street. Okay, so it's already starting with that dream scenario of this is normal, but really not normal. You know,
Right.
And then the train goes on, and then all sorts of different things happen. Like, for instance, at one point, the boy is like on top of the train, and there's a hobo on top of the train, but the hobo is also Tom Hanks. And the train, the guy who's driving the engine is also Tom Hanks. And then everybody that this kid like runs into as he's going is fucking Tom Hanks, up to and including Santa Claus. When he finally makes it to the North Pole, Santa Claus is Tom Hanks. It's the same face, same guy. And there's a little boy who's on the train who doesn't say anything, and there's like a Dwight Schrute kid who's got glasses and is just annoying. And there's a little girl, and they're all in there, and they're all doing weird things. Like the kid loses
pajamas.
In their pajamas. The kid loses his ticket at one point. So they make it all. The train, after going through, like the train goes off the tracks and goes on this pond that's full of ice and does all this weird, all this crazy lunacy. Literally, it's like you had bad shellfish and just had fever dreams all night on Christmas Eve. And they finally get to the North Pole, and then Santa Claus gives him a bell as a gift, and he puts it in his pocket, but there's a hole in his pocket, and he loses the bell.
Fuck that.
But then he wakes up Christmas morning and he has the bell, and nobody can hear. Only if you believe in Santa Claus can you hear the bell. I've told you every single major plot point. Can you
I'm so sorry.
surmise a fucking point to this movie?
What?
No.
So why? Well, why did he get? What's? I have so many like questions, but I can't form them. Like, why is he on the train? Why is he going to the North Pole?
I'm so sorry.
Why did Santa give him a bell?
Yeah.
I thought that it was something else. I'm sorry. I listened to the book
Don't
when I was a
apologize.
child.
No, this is.
No, but
we need to talk about this.
But also, it doesn't make for the game because I thought that he accompanied Santa through his whole journey. I guess that was the Santa Claus, and
that's more the Santa Claus. Yeah.
the fact that there was a train that they told me in the title, I should have known something was up with that. But whatever.
But I don't know if anybody really knows what the Polar Express is about. My point is, I think they're all like, "Oh, that's the song, the Josh Groban song. Oh, that's nice."
I say we change it to Santa Claus.
Okay.
Because I don't know what, like, if we're gonna be this kid for this Polar Express thing. I mean, you're on a train, you get a bell, and it's a dream.
Yeah, for the game, that's fine. I'm just happy that we got able to call out Polar Express for what it is, which is a goddamn fucking drug fueled writing session that we all have to suffer through now.
So next year, do you want to do acid, have a bad trip, and wear pants with holes in them?
Exactly.
Yeah, what the fuck, man?
And then he loses the ticket at some point, but then somebody else it's the whole thing makes zero sense. It's literally like if you gave the Grateful Dead money to make a movie. That's what you would get. You get the Polar Express.
They got Willy Wonka to write half of it.
Yeah.
This kid lose everything? He's lost 2 things. In
Oh, the
this
kid is
in-
such a piece of shit. Every 5 minutes, like I fucking hate this kid. He's just a nightmare going through
For
this whole.
someone named Hero Boy, he sure messes up a lot.
Yeah,
Anyway,
more
all
like
right.
Zero Boy. Am I right, Aaron?
Hey.
sir.
Thank you.
All right,
I'm
so
gonna-
are we changing it or are we not changing it?
Yeah, let's change it. Santa Claus kid. Where would you put the
Yeah.
Santa Claus kid?
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Sorry.
you get
Kid
you
with-
get the
kid with
ride in
those-
this. Go ahead.
Yeah, kid who gets to accompany Santa next to him for Christmas Eve, where he delivers all the toys in the entire world in one night, and you get to see how it happens. Who wants that?
That's pretty cool.
I have it at number 3 because I fucked up and I should have left one open. This is the best to ride with Santa Claus when he delivers all the toys. Like, who doesn't want to fucking do that?
That is pretty cool. I have it as number 3 too, but I have number 1 available. I didn't put it at number 1
I can't believe that.
because I feel like I'm going to get errand here. Because
Mhm.
number 2, I have Ghosts of Christmas Past, where I get to go visit my past Christmases, and then number 3, I have Santa Claus, where I get to ride around with Santa Claus. But I feel like after hour 4, I'd be like, "Let's pick it up here, Claus. Let's go."
It is a little repetitive when you get down to it, right? You just
I mean, unless you give me, unless he lets me deliver some presents, or hey, you take this one, or you could drive the sleigh a little bit, that'd be cool.
I bet you he'll let you drive the sleigh a little bit. But
Yeah?
see, here's the problem. You just knock something loose. I'm happy with 3 now. It's like riding the local elevator. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're doing these great long journeys. Like you're literally just to the next house and then to the like after a little while, you're probably gonna be like, "Fuck, I'm getting a little nauseous here, just bouncing."
I
from
do
one
get-
thing.
I do get motion sickness pretty easily too.
Yeah, good point. All right, Cuddles, where are you putting the Santa Claus kid?
The highest I have is 5, so I'm gonna put it at 5. But I have to say that this would be fun only because I want to see inside people's houses.
That's true.
I want to be
Cuddles likes to
fucking
snoop.
nosy. I want
Yeah.
to be like, oh, look at this bit. Like that would be up my alley. You know that.
That's true.
Oh, they have the couch over here. See, I would have put the couch over there.
Yeah. Yeah.
This is how you put a spinning wheel in a living room. So
Yeah. Be like, look at this bitch. She's got a swing inside her bedroom. I knew she was a freak.
Oh,
Jesus.
you think? Jeez.
Supposed to keep it to the living room, Cuddles. She'd be up in the fucking bedroom, like peeking
I
around.
would. I'll be like, look, she said she wears an 8 and she's a fucking 10.
you
I
and
would.
Jay
I'd be
you'd have to
mad.
yell upstairs.
That's
Yeah.
funny.
All right, last one. Here we
All right,
go.
Last one. The last one is not Eyes Wide Shut, like Robin was hoping for, but
Oh.
Ralphie from A Christmas Story getting the gift you've obsessed about since Thanksgiving.
Do you shoot your eye out with it?
Frank, I swear to God.
Confession time. I've never seen A Christmas Story.
I hate you.
Oh my God. Are
know
you
why I thought-
serious?
I don't know why I talk to you.
I don't know why I'm married to you.
Both valid questions. Both valid questions. Yeah,
Dude,
never seen
it's on 24 hours. It's on 24 hours during Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. You got to watch it at
know.
least once.
I know, but I feel like I know the whole thing just by being in the.
You kind of do.
I can't sit through it now. I don't have any patience for it.
It's still worth it. It's still worth watching at least once because it's like, I don't know. It's that nostalgic feeling.
Oh,
Is it? Because I'll tell you something. By previews and just little snips that I've seen, doesn't look Christmassy to me whatsoever.
No, it is. I mean, it's definitely Christmassy.
Bill had the best one, and I don't even know who you are. Yeah, I know it's weird. The lamp and Fragile, all that side. I know all of it. I just never sat there and watched it.
No, that's one you got. That's a classic.
oh,
That's
come on.
That's one you got. You hate it or not, you have to watch it at least once.
Do you know about the soap?
No.
See, you need to watch it.
You don't know.
You don't
You
know
got-
everything. You know about the soap. The bar
Lisa
soap. You don't know.
Lely says Christmas Story is so depressing. Is it depressing? I can't have a depressing story.
No,
I don't
I don't
think it's depressing. No, it's not a depressing one. Oh, there's a truck backing up outside my house.
That's depressing.
That is depressing. That is depressing.
No, that's a good one. You got to watch that. So by default, I have to put that at number 1. I might put that lower. I would probably put Santa Claus and Christmas Past up higher.
So you hate every time you save number one, and then
I
half
regret
the time you regret it.
I know. But here's my list. Yeah.
I'm gonna go hang out with Lisa Lely because stupid, can't stand it. See, she's more. That's what I'm talking
I
about.
don't know.
It's a
I don't
good
know.
one.
Lisa's sound like she needs a little cocktail right now.
But that's because you need a cocktail. That's what you're saying, man.
So
I
you were
already
going in a
popped
whole
open the
different
bottle
direction.
of wine. I already had.
How many cocktails have you had, Cuddles?
I've had one glass of red wine since you told me to open one.
Okay. And then how many? What is the other drink you got? The Sunny Side?
I didn't
Surfside?
like it. A Surfside, I didn't really like it.
I don't remember Anthony telling you to open a bottle of wine. Are you talking to your
He
conscience?
did.
Oh, okay.
No, he did. He told me about it, and I did it. I had a and I've had a
Since you
glass,
told me to open it, conscience.
but I
Jiminy Cricket. But that was a great one.
I find that
Mhm.
Cuddles drinking and me getting any action is like refueling a plane in midair on Top Gun, the video game. Remember that? You have to get it just right because too much one way or the other, and you're just in.
It's a
What?
balancing act.
Oh God.
She goes from not drunk enough to sleep with me to I'm going to sleep. I'm too tired.
Oh, Cuddles, I love when you
So tiny
join. I
little-
love when you join.
It's like Luke
Cuddle-
blowing up the Death Star.
Right,
Gotta get it.
exactly.
You opening your mouth doesn't help.
See, that's
Yeah,
also a fact.
Okay.
Getting them all in before you show up.
Cuddles, I love when you join. Aunt, say hi to my mom and my sister in the chat that
Will
you
do.
have with them.
Listen,
And Frank,
you're gonna
yeah?
love what they got you for Christmas. That's all I'm gonna
Thank
say.
Yeah, it's probably a
Right.
framed picture of you. And Frank, brew some coffee. We're watching Sesame Street Christmas Eve as soon as you get off the show. And everybody else have a wonderful, wonderful holiday and rest of the year. We'll talk to you next year.
Great
Merry
job, Aaron.
Christmas, Aunt Aaron.
Good job, Aaron.
Great job.
Pick up that oval, god damn it. Link in the description below.
Absolutely. You could get. Hey, it's still time to get that Christmas present. I don't know if it'd be delivered in time, but you can get the digital download available on Amazon. It's still available. Click the link in the description below. Oval, the novel. Oval, a novel is fantastic, written by Erin herself, and it's a wonderful book. Highly recommend it.
It is so much better than a fucking Polar Express. That's all I'm gonna say.
Or a pair of stupid socks you were going to give someone. Buy the book.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Socks already. People have socks, god damn it.
Yeah, they're gonna get their own socks.
They don't have the masterpiece. Buy the book.
That's right.
Oh,
Get the book.
Anthony, what are you doing?
I'm just tweaking something here. Hold on. That's it. That's it. Last show. Cuddles, any parting words for people?
Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, whatever you celebrate. Happy holidays, and Happy New Year. And I'll see you in 2025.
Yay.
All right,
Yes.
Cuddles.
Have a good night, everyone. God bless. Bye.
Good night, Cuddles.
Good night, Uncle Frankie.
2025, Frankie C. What do you think?
Unbelievable. Hey, got to thank everybody for a great year. 2024 was an amazing year. All our listeners, all our viewers, got to thank you guys, the members.
Still top 5% podcast, by the way.
We're in the top 5%.
Stayed in our 5% slot. Yep. Yeah.
Nice.
Still up
40 something countries we're heard in.
insane. 43 countries, I think it is. Yeah.
43 countries around the world. We are heard in 43 countries. That's amazing.
43 different languages. Somebody is saying, "What the fuck are these assholes talking about? This is bullshit."
Oh, they might not all be different languages.
That's true. That's true. I just want to hear that in Ugandan or whatever. I just want to hear.
These fucking idiots. They don't know anything. I want to hear you do your research in 43 different languages. That's what she said, and
Yeah. Oh, that's good.
For the table, all that stuff.
Yeah, that would be great. Like in the countries where they just click and they're literally to translate that into these two don't know what the fuck they're talking about.
That would be amazing to hear.
That would be so good. What? Give me a little prediction for 25. Let me see what are you feeling? What are you thinking? What's 25? Because I think about this all the time now because of the pandemic. We were so.
Predictive what?
Like, do you remember like the 2020 memes? Like, this is 2020. That was popping up all over the place. December of
No,
2019.
what the hell are you talking about?
Like, we were like, oh, it's 2020. Like, we're finally going to be like, get Barbara Walters. It's going to be 2020. Like, everybody was like ready for like 2020. It was like such a thing. And then it became such a shit
sucked.
year. Yeah.
Yeah, that was like that was a terrible one. Let's see, 2025.
What do you think? Good year, bad year? Just
I want it to be a
year?
great. I want it to be a great year.
Everybody does. What is it going to be?
I'm not too fond of the political scene, but I think outside,
only a portion of it. It's only a small part of it.
I know, but outside of that, we're gonna make it a great year. We're gonna have good times. We'll be here doing this podcast with you guys, God willing, knock on wood, the whole thing.
Putting a lot of pressure on us now to carry the whole fucking year for everybody. That seems like a lot.
It's well, as much as we can do. I don't know.
I don't know. That feels like that's like a lot. You're making a big.
Was that a lot of pressure? Did I put a lot of pressure on you?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. I take it back. Maybe we won't do the whole year. Who the hell knows?
I feel like if it's on our back, if we're heading towards mediocre to slightly below average at best.
We can promise you below average. If we go beyond that, then expectations exceeded.
Under promise, over deliver. I like where you're going. That might not be a bad strategy.
That's what we're saying.
Okay, I like it. I like it a lot. I think it's going to be an amazing year. You want to know why? I have one word for you.
Superman.
That's it. Let's go.
Okay.
We're getting Superman. We're getting a new Superman. How bad can it be?
All right, we'll see. We'll see if it's a shit movie or not. They haven't been great.
They really haven't been. This James Gunn,
if the whole movie revolves around his mother being named the same as Batman's mother, I'm out.
We're fucked.
I can't do that again.
His dog is the same name as Batman's dog.
No, his dog is named after the cryptocurrency, and that takes the whole thing down. And
Bruce loses his whole fortune based off of the cryptocurrency dog.
Yeah, right. It's the cryptocurrency dog.
I like that. All right. Well, everybody have wonderful holidays. Hanukkah, Festivus, Kwanzaa. If you don't believe in God, what do they call those people?
Atheists.
Atheists. Then happy Wednesday, everyone.
Wednesday.
We'll see you next year, right?
No meat, potato salad.
Maybe we should go now. Go ahead.